supposed to storm today. It's supposed to start raining shortly, actually, and rain for like a day and a half. So Ted and I didn't get too aggressive this morning. We're not going to be able to hunt very long. We took the boat in and went in the dark, checked a spot that we had been looking at on a map. And it's right on the backside of where I saw some deer last night, right at very last light. I filmed them from like a half mile away. But we picked the spot on the map, went in this morning, didn't find the sign we were looking for. And right now we're really trying to focus on scrapes and rubs close to bedding. There's not a lot of sign laid down yet because the bucks have only been out of velvet for a couple weeks. So when we do find it, we're paying real close attention to it. Didn't find any in our first spot, came over here to this second spot, and the goal is to try to glass over into these coves across from us. And the one that we're on right now has got a couple fresh rubs in it. I say fresh, it's probably a week old or so, but that's what we're looking for. And there's white oaks back here behind us dropping acorns. I could hear them falling while we were sitting on that log a while ago. Like I said, not getting real aggressive this morning. We're just scouting more or less for next week, but obviously bucks in here. Deer right there across from us. Looks like a fawn and a doe potentially. See all the old rubs and stuff in here. Yeah. There's a new one right here. It's big and fresh. Really fresh. And then there's a bunch of old ones down through there. It's pretty intimidating hunting these big oak woods when there's acorns dropping everywhere. But there's still pockets within these woods where the sign is concentrated, and that's given us a little bit more confidence. We found a bunch of old rubs in this little opening behind us. And right here we got a fresh one. Right down in there is where I've been seeing the deer at, another 300-400 yards away. Just sure they're in between this spot and the backside of the lake where I filmed them last night. We just know now that we need to concentrate on the west side of the ridge instead of the east side. We scouted the far southeast corner, didn't find sign, just came up through here, scouted the east side of the ridge, didn't find sign. It's like once you get over the top of the ridge, I don't know if there's slightly different vegetation on the west side of the ridge than there is on the east side. It's possible, but there's definitely more sign on the west side and more deer.
Well, as you can tell, we got rained out. We did a bunch of scouting. It's about 1 o'clock right now, and we found some really good spots today, but since it started raining, we had to bail. On the way back to camp, we're gonna swing by my Uncle Ray's house here and visit him. I want to introduce him to you guys because he's one of my mentors. He's one of the guys that got me started in hunting when I was real young. So let's go in there and see what he's up to.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, how are you? Dylan.
Ray Willingham.
Nice to meet you.
Ted.
Ted, how you doing? Met you
Good.
this summer.
Ray's been hunting a day or two.
Yeah.
When did you start?
I'd say I was probably 10 or 11 years old. My dad took me out behind our house with a bow. He bow hunted with the recurve that you've got now.
Yeah.
And they got me a little 30-pound green bear fiberglass bow and
I've
sent
seen
me out
that.
on a stump and
I've seen
And,
that bow, I'm pretty sure.
yeah, I still got it. It's still out in the garage.
I used to beg my dad to bring me over here and go rabbit hunting when I was a kid.
Well, when you were young,
10,
I had
11
a
years
really
old.
good beagle that
Yeah.
was really good. His name was Lucky, and he would run rabbits like crazy. And I think I've got a couple pictures of y'all holding some rabbits up with him. There used to be a tree in the front yard. Aaron and Brandon, other nephew, were pretty small, and we'd put a little stand out there, and you'd put it like 3 feet off the ground and have them shoot. And Aaron he was always scared of getting that high off the ground. Of course, now you guys get up in the trees like monkeys. So.
You start out going small game hunting. You start like you guys took us on like blood trails and stuff when we were kids. Took us to deer camp, and you all still go to the same deer camp every year.
Yep. Still enjoy it. Of course, we were pretty lucky with most all of us started out with family. Blessed to live in the area where we do. We've always lived in a rural area and always had good hunting around us. Of course, the You know, the lake went in about the time I was around 18 or so. Once they bought the ground down there, it was government ground,
Right.
so you could go on it. And turkeys that was a big thing back in the in the late 70s, early 80s. There used to be turkeys everywhere around that area. Killed tons of turkeys on public ground, and I like what you all did with your bow purchases, because that deer, that was my first compound, the bear whitetail.
I remember.
mean, at that time that was a $70-$80 bow, something like that.
Really?
I mean, it was
brand new?
It was an affordable bow that you could get and hunt, and it would shoot good, you know. So killed deer with that. You know, I never did have a lot of money raising a family to spend a lot of money on equipment. So I mean, having nice stuff is great, but you don't have to have it to hunt.
That's a new challenge. We're gonna do the Bear Whitetail 2 used bow challenge here at some point.
Over the years, I would love to kill the big ones, but we don't have a place that we can really manage to hunt and stuff, and kind of backed what I would call my standards off. It doesn't matter. A trophy is a trophy to anybody.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what size they are, and you know, just something that you can be proud of, and not that you couldn't be proud of. I mean, my son's as proud as you can be of that one, and I am too. So
this is what I want to show you guys right here. Recently, flip to the page in there. Recently, we had an article published in North American Whitetail, the hunting public. Paul Lanier did that article on us and interviewed several of us. It was pretty cool to see us in North American Whitetail, because Ray and John and Bobby McMorris were all in North American Whitetail. What issue is that?
that was January 1996. Is when the article went in. I think we killed the deer in '94. That's the one that I killed
Yeah.
with a shotgun over there. They called it One Wild Weekend. John McMorris actually wrote the article.
I remember that.
I don't know if
when
you
I
can
was
see
a
it.
kid.
That's John, and that's Bobby, and that's me with that buck up there. I wasn't quite as gray then. But we killed them all in one weekend over in Illinois during the shotgun season. We always wanted to hunt Pike County, Illinois, and we always lived fairly close, but you know, we were young then. We were in our 30s. We were raising our family, and didn't have a lot of money to spend on out-of-state tags and stuff. So finally got to go. We went over there. We probably knocked on close to 50 doors, and I think it was in 1993 after the flood. We got talking to a farmer over there that had some ground, and he finally gave us permission to hunt 20 acres the first year that we went. We had 20 acres, and John had told him that he would try to get him permission up in Iowa to go pheasant hunting. So that's kind of how we worked it, and sure enough, John was able to get him permission to go pheasant hunting in Iowa the next year. So
you just traded him.
I think we hunted 2 or 3 years there probably.
But you guys killed all 3 of these in how many days?
In 3 days. Bobby got his first.
And then you got yours.
Yeah.
If I remember right, you shot yours really close.
Yeah,
didn't you?
I shot. It was the last day. It was pouring rain. I had my old smoothbore shotgun that I got. It was a high standard I got for my 8th grade graduation, and I was sitting there in a pouring rain with a poncho on, with my gun underneath my poncho, thinking, "What an idiot for being out here." And I was in a thick spot, and I turned and looked, and there was a deer behind me, and I had to pull that gun out from around the poncho because they'd already seen me standing there. There was a doe and a buck, and the doe took off, and she stopped, and when she stopped, he stopped, and he was in really thick brush, but he wasn't 20 yards away from me. I shot, and it was pouring rain. They came over and helped me drag him out, and then I went to town to check him in, and John and his brother JD went to another property that they had permission to hunt right close to where we were hunting, that we had gained permission on, and they were doing what they called the hammer and anvil drive, where
one man and like
one
a
guy
2-man
gets ahead
drive.
of the other one with the wind blowing through the draw. The other guy stays back, and the deer sneak back out.
Yeah, that's what we call wind bumping, guys.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
stuff we do all the time, and they were doing it 25 years ago.
Yeah, John and his brothers called it the hammer and anvil, and that the buck that John got came out sneaking out of the draw back toward him, and he shot it, and his was a nice one too. So
Yeah, all 3 of them really nice bucks.
yeah.
North American Whitetail. I remember when I was a kid, we thought it was the coolest thing ever that you guys got an article in there.
Well, I give John McMorris credit. He's the one that he wrote the article and did a pretty good job on it. I think it was good enough that they published it. So
You and Dad and the McMorrises have been hunting together since long before I was born.
yeah,
I probably wouldn't be hunting without all of them. Here's a picture of all of them elk hunting over here.
I found those sheds on public ground several years ago.
Dang, those are big.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah,
even know
yeah.
you had those.
Yeah.
Gee, man.
I probably hit him when you were younger. That was my son's first and only deer.
Yeah.
He killed with a rifle. I don't know what had happened to it, but its skull was fractured and those horns were like that, but I thought it was pretty unique, so I went ahead and mounted it. Jill, my daughter, wanted to hunt. She's always hunted with me, but she's pretty small and never has bow hunted, so I bought a crossbow when they became legal and let her use it, and I still use my bow. And then last year we had a banner year. She killed 2 really good ones with one with a crossbow and one with a rifle, and then I was fortunate enough to get this one and that one. Both mine were bow, and since this one was on the special hunt on the conservation area, it didn't count toward my regular bow tag. That one was with a crossbow, so I went to the dark side.
No.
You still have that little flimsy clamp-on stand that I bought? And
with the
put
carpet
that
on
old piece of conduit pipe on there.
Yeah.
Can you believe I hunted out of that thing in Illinois? I didn't get off the ground very far in that thing, but
things have changed a little bit.
Yeah.
Over the
Things
years.
have changed, but the passion for it hasn't. That's the main thing. Is
and
that,
you're still killing them the same way.
once you get it in your blood, it's pretty hard to get out of it. I mean, I like doing other things too, but my passion is definitely deer and turkey hunting. Never thought you could make a living at it when I was your all's age, so I hope you all can. What's that called on there? The bear?
Green Fox by Bear.
Yeah, 30
56 inches to 30 pounds. And that was the first one you deer hunted with?
That's my dad gave me that, and that's what the first time I ever went bow hunting is I went out with that. Of course, I probably couldn't have shot nothing with it, but never did shoot at anything with it as far as game goes. But it's what got me interested in it.
And then
That's my old Bear whitetail. Whitetail too. Use it for a bow fishing reel when I go. You can tell I haven't used it for years, but cat hair and everything else all over it. That big one that I killed with this bow, October 27th. Probably
cool.
The coolest bow hunt I've probably ever been on.
Well, thanks, Uncle Ray.
Yeah. Hey, thanks y'all for coming over.
Ted, I don't think your socks are drying up any.
Oh, they're getting there. That's what Ted does when his socks get wet. He just rolls them up in the window and then drives down the road for a while. Well, that's gonna do it for this video, guys. We're gonna be staying after him here in Missouri. As soon as this rain quits, we're gonna be on them. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the little stroll down memory lane there with my Uncle Ray. Lots and lots of good memories there. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video.